Hey everyone, I'm Keisha Charmaine and I'm back with a quick video recording on my phone. If I'm recording on my phone, that's how you know I'm just trying to come here really quickly and not edit. So I wanted to make this video now while it's heavy on my heart, and I feel like it's probably going to be heavy on my heart for a while, but I made a post on Instagram and I kind of wanted to share it to my community on YouTube as well. I know everyone isn't watching me on both platforms, but and if you guys are like go hard Keisha Charmaine watchers, avid watchers of me, then you guys probably know already that Chadwick Boseman was my theater teacher. I spoke on him in maybe 2 videos, and if you read More Than a Hair Journey, you may remember me briefly mentioning my experience with him. And the reason why my experience with him was really important may not be as obvious as you may think. So I posted like an excerpt on my Instagram, so I'm gonna just read it to you guys. And this part is Black and Beautiful, which begins on page 21, but I am going to be reading from page 22. Essentially, it's about like me being confident in myself as a Black woman. And here we go. Growing up, I wanted to be a model and an actress. Honestly, to this day, I beat myself up thinking about this. Chadwick Boseman was my theater teacher in 10th grade at the Urban Assembly School for Music and Art. He's the man who played Jackie Robinson in 42 and James Brown in Get On Up. Mind you, this was written in 2016. It came out in 2017, so this is before Black Panther, before Thurgood Marshall and everything else he did. And James Brown in Get On Up, which became one of my favorites as he did an amazing job channeling the King of Soul. When I was in high school, he was getting very small roles in pursuit of stardom. I remember working with him one-on-one with a scene that I wrote. He was impressed by my reading of it and asked me, "So Keisha, you're really good. Do you want to become an actor for real?" I responded so modestly and said, "Oh no, I just want to do this for fun. I don't think that's realistic." He looked disappointed, but said that he understood my point of view. But in retrospect, I had some nerve telling my teacher, a working actor, that it's not a realistic career. Thank God he didn't listen to me, because he got his big break a few years later. I didn't have the confidence to tell my own teacher that I was interested in acting for real. I'm gonna stop right there. And in the context of that chapter, I'm basically talking about basically just being confident, and how a time when I wasn't confident in myself in that moment. And it always stuck with me because obviously you see what Chadwick Boseman made of himself as a working actor, as an actual actor, professional actor, And for me to say to him, "Oh, that's not realistic," I kind of just like put my foot in my mouth, in my head, like retrospectively when I think about that, because like how dare you say that to this man who's a working actor. But anyway, and I remember I get, this is definitely after high school. I was in college, maybe after sophomore year. I forget when Jackie Robinson came out, 42. I forgot when that came out, but I remember being at my friend's house in the basement. We were watching TV. Actually, I think he stepped aside to like go somewhere, and I was by myself, and I saw a commercial for 42, and I'm like, that looks like Chad. Let me like wait to see the credits. Like, I didn't remember Chad's whole name at that point. We called him Chad because he was relatively young. He was probably maybe like less than 15 years older than us. We used to call him Chad. So I don't remember his whole name, but I was like, let me see if his name is Chadwick, or like let me just wait and see. And then I saw it said Chadwick Boseman. I'm like, oh my God, that is my teacher. Wow. Like, I was like so taken back. And of course, I remember that moment when I told him that it was unrealistic. And not only did it stand, that moment when I told him it was unrealistic, not only did it stand out to me because, wow, you have nerve saying that to him, but it also stood out to me because I was lying to myself. Because, like I said in the beginning, like growing up, I wanted to be a model and an actress. And then he literally asked me, oh, do you want to pursue this for real? And I said, no, that's not realistic. So I was like lying to myself. I was playing small, essentially. And a lot of us do this. We play small. We discredit ourselves. We question why we're in the spaces that we're in. We get imposter syndrome and feel like we don't deserve to be where we're at. And very often that mentality will bring you down some notches. Like, if you are not grateful for where you're at, and if you don't see the value in yourself where you're at, you're going to attract something that's going to bring you back down. So it's really important that you defeat that imposter syndrome, or that thinking or playing small feeling. It's really important to defeat that for your own progress in life and achieving your goals and the things that you want. So I was 16 at that time, or maybe 15. So, like, I'm giving myself grace in that moment. Like, I was a child. I get it. But I'm happy that I have the understanding of what it was I was doing. I was playing small. And sometimes I think, oh, you know what if I was honest with him at that moment? Maybe he would have worked with me after he left the school, because he only worked with us for a semester. And who knows? But hey, I don't necessarily want to pursue acting anymore. But hey, if an opportunity comes, I'll take it. But like, I'm not trying to pursue it, you know. So yeah. So again, because I'm not an actress, I could see maybe some people thinking like, oh, how was he inspirational to you in particular? But he was inspirational to me because when you actually, okay, I'll say this. You know, very often people who come from places where we don't see a lot of success, we see a lot of people just taking life as it comes. We see a lot of people going with the flow of life. And very often those same people are like blaming their circumstances and, you know, oh, if I didn't get pregnant at 14, and I could have done this and I could have done that, or if I didn't, or if I had a parent with more money, they could have sent me to basketball camp and I could have improved my skills. And like, a lot, that's what you find yourself surrounded by a lot when you're like from an inner city environment, very often like a lower income environment. Granted, so my whole life, I feel like where my family status fluctuated, we probably, at one point, we're probably just like middle class. Other points, we were like lower middle class, maybe even upper lower class. Like now, like I would say that I, myself, and my family were probably like middle class again. And like, but I was always surrounded by people who were a lot less fortunate than I was. So I grew up around people who were lower class, middle lower class, lower class even. So you don't really see people living their dreams very often. You don't see people taking chances on themselves. You don't see people betting on themselves. You don't see people achieving what they really desire to do. I mean, I don't want to downplay what it is these people are doing with their lives, because although they may not be able to achieve their childhood dreams, as they've grown and maybe they have their families, their dreams have shifted into, just being able to provide more for their child than they had, for instance. That becomes a dream. And I've seen that. They've been able to do that and stuff. But like, you don't see like the like the 1% type of dreams. You don't see that. But I saw that in Chad, obviously. When Chad was my teacher, he was newly, I think he had moved to New York, maybe not for very long. I think he was only there for a few years. He was from down south, I believe. And I remember he didn't tell us this, but I could tell he was struggling. Like, you can tell how, because of the way his appearance, he looked like he was struggling. So just when I just think of his success, it's just like really inspiring to me. It's just because when you see somebody make it, and this is what I was saying essentially on my Instagram post, when you see somebody make it, no matter what it is you want to do for yourself, it makes you feel like you can do it too. Not this necessarily the same thing as what he did. Again, I'm not trying to pursue acting, but I have my entrepreneurial goals and stuff, which can feel like a really small scale compared to what he has done. But it's a big deal to me, and I feel like I very often think of him when I want to be inspired. Okay, and I'm gonna get off of this. I think I've made my point. And I've always like visualized myself being like at a higher level than I am now, maybe like bumping into him at an event or something, and I'm telling him how he inspired me, and I won't get the chance to do that now, but I'm putting that out there. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, goodbye. Leave a comment below or something. I'll come back later. I have a couple videos I need to edit and I'll post, so stay tuned for those. Love, light, and locks.